Okay, so as you can see here, this is the first page that you're going to be taken to when you log into your Hubdoc account. This is called the Partner Portal or Organizations page. And as you can see here, you'll see your company's name listed at the top. Here we have Zach's Bookkeeping and all of your clients below. So the two main things that you're going to want to do from this organizations page are add a client account and manage your users. So as you can see, if you just jump into this add a client account button, you'll be taken to this window that prompts you to add your client's company name, first name, last name, and email address. I should note that when you add new clients, they will be added onto your billing cycle. So if your invoice date is August 1st and you add a client on August 8th, you will not be billed for them until your next bill date, which is September 1st. If it is your first client that you're adding, it will prompt you to enter your billing information, and that will set your bill date for those invoices. The next button there is the Manage Users button. Clicking on this will bring you into this page where you can see a list of all of your users. These will most likely be the staff of your firm. You can see that some of my staff have clients under their wing. So if I click into Paige, you can see that she has access to Ron Dog's Pet Grooming and Superman Sam's Bookkeeping. From here, I can grant Paige access to other client accounts, or I can revoke her access to the client account she already has access to, or I can delete the user altogether. Maybe if she doesn't work at the firm anymore, I would want to do that. So if we close out of here and go back into this main organizations page, there's a couple things that you'll note here. The first is the docs to review. So as you can see here, all these client accounts have documents to review. This indicates that there are documents in the Hubdoc account that need your attention. Maybe they've just gone through our OCR technology and they're sitting in that review tab waiting for you to publish them to downstream integrations or archive them. The second tab here is the status tab. As you can see, this orange triangle and this orange cloud, both with exclamation marks in the middle. The orange triangle indicates that one of your connections within Hubdoc needs your immediate attention. Maybe this refers to a personal verification question that needs to be answered, or a two-factor authentication code that needs to be inputted into Hubdoc. Or maybe you just need to update your credentials for that account just to get things running smoothly once again. The second here, that orange cloud with the exclamation mark in the middle, indicates that there's a problem with one of your downstream integrations that needs your immediate attention as well. The next column over is this staff column. As you can see, just as in our manage users, if I click into Ron Dog's Pet Grooming, I can see that Paige Sopic has access to this account. And from clicking into there, I can add users to have access to this account as well, or revoke Paige's access. Now I'm just going to pass things off to my colleague Natalie, who's just going to jump into the Hubdoc dashboard and go through things a little bit more in depth for you guys.
Hi there, Natalie here. So if we go into our Hubdoc dashboard, as you can see, for ABs and for your clients, it'll actually look the same. The only difference will be that yours will have this little hamburger step icon on the left-hand side, which enables you to toggle between your accounts. So we're just going to get started and actually see how to start pulling documents. So at the top here, you can see the Add Account and the Add Receipt button. These are both for adding automated connections and then adding manual connections. We're going to start with adding an automated connection. So we have over 700 connections that you can fetch from, and some of these are our most popular ones. But you can type in any connection that you want. So for example, I'll just do Amex right now. And you're going to enter your credentials and then just click Add Account. So as you can see, it'll start logging in and checking your account for new documents. And you can actually have this page closed while new documents start pulling in. So as you can see here, it's as simple as that, and your new documents that are fetched will start coming into your All tab. So your second way that you can add documents is by manually uploading them, and to do so, you'll click Add Receipt. So as you can see here, you have 3 different options for manually uploading your documents. You can either drag and drop them from your desktop or a various folder you have on your computer by clicking Browse, or by dragging and dropping them. Or you can submit them to your unique intake email address, which you also have the ability to change here into something that you can remember with a little more ease. And your last option is to actually download the mobile app, and from there you can take pictures of any receipts you have on the go, and they will also store to your Hubdoc account that way. So now I'm going to pass it along to my colleague who will explain the various tabs for you as well.
Hi there, this is Paige speaking. So I'm going to walk you through the tabs we have up here and then our folder structure. So these tabs here represent the journey that a document takes as it comes into your Hubdoc and as you deal with it. So all of the documents that get either manually uploaded into Hubdoc or through your automated connections will appear in the All tab right here. And all your documents will always stay there. And then there's these little symbols next to the documents which let you know the status that each document currently has. As you can see here, these green check marks and yellow triangles signify different things. Let's jump to the processing tab. Here is where you would have documents if Hubdoc was currently extracting data from one of them. As you can see here, there's no documents that Hubdoc actually has to extract data from. But that would be symbolized with a little blue clock, which signifies that we are currently extracting data, and they'll be ready for your review shortly. That OCR process can take up to 24 hours, oftentimes less, but we give it that maximum time frame. The next tab over is the Review tab, and this is a really important tab. It's kind of like your inbox. It lets you know all of the new documents that need your attention. And so when you have these documents, you either can send them to your downstream integrations or you can archive them. So you do that by clicking on the Edit Data bar here to the right-hand side of the screen. And then this screen will allow you to configure this document how you want it to appear in your downstream integrations. So we'll go over that more when we talk about integrations, but you can either publish here to downstream integrations or you can archive instead. And then once you've dealt with the document, that will move it from the Review tab into the Archive tab, where you'll see the green check mark here, which indicates that. The Failed tab is where your documents go if they have either not been able to have been processed by our OCR technology, either the vendor name or the date or the total amount was not clearly visible, so we couldn't extract the data, or the receipt was crinkly or it was dark, or another option is that it didn't successfully publish to a downstream integration. And so once the documents are out of your review tab, you've dealt with them and they appear in your archive section, which also appear in your folder structure. So in this folder structure here, the two main folders that Hubdoc automatically sets up for you is bills and statements and the uploads folder. All of your automated connections are going to flow into the bills and statements folder. And all of your manual uploads are going to flow into the uploads folder. And Hubdoc organizes that based on the vendor name. And so once we extract data, it'll automatically create a new vendor folder for it based on the name of the vendor. Here you have the opportunity to create new master folders by clicking on this button here and adding a new folder. You can create new subfolders within each folder here by clicking on that down arrow. You can rename folders, delete folders, really customize it how to suit your workflow. To move documents around, you can drag and drop the folders, and then that will be, wherever you place it, that location will be the new location moving forward for those documents, and all documents from that vendor will flow into that folder. Additionally, you can delete folders by dragging and dropping and moving to the trash here. You can also empty your trash by clicking on the down arrow by the trash can and clicking on empty trash. Some additional features which are super helpful for internally organizing your documents would be the tags, the notes feature, and the paid feature. So let's say, one of the options is the tags feature. You can create a tag to categorize your documents while keeping them still in the folders that you establish here by vendor name. So let's say, for example, a receipt from Freshie is a client lunch. And let's say it's Ruby's lunch that she went out with a client for. You can tag it Ruby, press enter. The enter function for us saves the tag. And then you can see here under the tags at the bottom that under the Ruby tag is this new document. Another feature is the notes feature. So let's just use this one as an example again. You can use the notes drop down and then click add a note. Let's just say paid for by personal card. Save that. And then that note will be saved internally to provide more information to the accountant, bookkeeper, whoever's managing the account. Another way you can send attached notes to a document is through, if you're sending it by email, is if you're sending an attachment by email to the unique intake email address associated with the account, in the body of the email, you type the hashtag symbol note, and then you type the note, and then you close it off with another hashtag note, and then Hubdoc will pick that up as attaching a note to the document once it's in Hubdoc. Finally, another feature for organization internally is the paid feature. And by doing that, you click on the Mark as Paid button here. That adds a paid banner across this document, which can signify that the document is paid, or it can signify another type of communication between a client and a bookkeeper. A common workaround that some users like to do is if they've published a document, sometimes they can use the paid button as a signifier to them that that document has been published to their integration. Just another workaround there. So those are all the main features. I'm now going to pass it over to my colleague to discuss the integrations more with you.
Hi folks, and thank you Paige for that. Now that we've taken a look at some of the ways that we pull our documents into Hubdoc, then how we manage them inside of Hubdoc, we'll take a look and see some of the tools available to integrate some of our downstream integrations to send these financial documents on their way to help you in other respects. So to take a look at this, we're going to go up into accounts and click on destinations. In this tab, we can see a couple of the accounting and cloud storage destinations available to us. We can see here for our accounting integrations, we have abilities to integrate with Xero, QuickBooks Online, Bill.com, FreshBooks, and things like that. We can see right now that we're connected to our QuickBooks Online account. You can see that's connected to Ruby's Gem Shop in QuickBooks Online. As well, for us Canadians, we have the option to publish tax data and select default and default tax exempt rates, which will be helpful when we're looking to apply tax to some of these receipts. Then if we scroll down a little bit more, we can see some of those cloud storage integrations, Box, ShareFile, SmartVault, Dropbox, and Google Drives. Well, we're not connected to any of them right now. A neat option you have available is you actually have the option to map out where Hubdoc will publish these to. So if you have a subfolder for a client in your SmartVault or ShareFile, for example, you can publish all of their specific Hubdoc documents to those subfolders. So it's a really neat tool, and it doesn't just push in one way. It can really fit into whatever your workflow and process in that cloud storage is. We also have options to email forward, which basically means that every time a document is put into Hubdoc, you'll have that option to forward it to an email address. As well, we can see these current addresses below for that email forwarding. So let's jump out of here and see what happens when we put a document through to one of these cloud storage integrations. Let's take this La Carnita receipt, for example. As an example, we can see it was taken as a photo, either uploaded through email forwarding, our mobile app, or through drag and drop functionality. But it's in Hubdoc now, and our OCR technology, we can see since there's no longer a blue clock there, has taken that document and pulled out key information. We can see we have the vendor taken out, the date, as well as total amount. Here we can actually see an interesting feature in Hubdoc where you're able to auto-calculate 2 line items in Hubdoc, which you can then push down to things like Xero and QuickBooks Online, where that tax amount is calculated. That multi-line function we can see down here under line items. What this basically allows you to do is use multiple lines to indicate different account codes or tax options for things on one receipt. So a little bit more flexibility there. You can publish full receipts as that one expense or bill in Hubdoc. But we can see in our edit data bar for QuickBooks Online, we have all of these details such as vendor, payment type, account code, things like that pulled in from QuickBooks Online. All those options are made available to you through that integration. We can come down here, and once we click publish, all of these details that we've coded in and mapped out or have been coded in for us will be sent over. A note before I go over there, you've got these 2 really great automation functions that can save you some time. You've got save configuration, which will allow you that option to save the settings you already have set up for that vendor. So if you've got that one restaurant you always know is going to be paid for on the same credit card, you can save configuration, and all of these things such as vendor, payment type, and account code will be set up for you. And then if you want to take that automation one step further, you can check off auto sync. And what that will do is rather than putting these documents in that review tab for you to make sure to look into before publishing, it'll publish straight to QuickBooks Online or Xero or those cloud storage integrations, whichever you decide to auto sync to automatically. So let's say we've published this to QuickBooks Online, this La Carnita receipt. We can jump into our QuickBooks account, navigate over to our expenses, and we can see it here. If we open up into it, we can see those options. You can see those 2 line items mapped out, account codes, things like that, the sales tax and subtotals attached. And most usefully, you can see right here that source document is attached as a PDF. So you'll have that within QuickBooks Online, which is really great for audit proofing your business. So now, if we jump out of here, we can go into our banking feed, and we can see another really useful thing is that these documents will, by QuickBooks Online, be able to be matched to that expense as it appears on the bank feed. So the option here to click match, that'll reconcile the payment against that bank feed in QuickBooks Online. really easy, really seamless, and a really great way to make that process a little bit more automatic. So now that we've looked into that, let's look into some of the options for customization we have available in that accounts window. We looked in the destination tab, but let's look through a couple of the other ones. The first we can see is that manage accounts tab. We can do a lot of different things here, like update some of these automated connections, answering security questions, maybe edit our credentials here if we've changed our login or password. We can update the account if we think that there's something available that Hubdoc has a nightly fetch. We can delete account if we don't need it anymore. And the same can be done for things like those manual accounts. If we scroll down, we can see here for within each of these vendors, you'll be able to see similar things in automated connections. We have a lot of different options available. The first is document location, indicating where that document is going to be put when you fetch it into Hubdoc. We can edit that, and then on an ongoing basis going forward, those documents will then be sent to that new document location in Hubdoc. We can click on that auto pay option, which will put up that banner for us. We can also change our email alerts if you want to, either keep those emails so you know when these documents are coming in or before the bills are due, or if you don't need them. As well, we can see here, rather than doing it in the edit data bar, we can decide whether to auto sync down to downstream integrations or configure the rules for those integrations right here in this manage accounts tab, which is really great, and we can save that there. The same can be done for those automated connections, as I mentioned. Next, we have hide accounts. Once, as we've mentioned, once Hubdoc starts to automatically fetch from one of these vendors, over 700 that we have, it'll pull in all the documents available for download. For some people, they don't want all those documents. Maybe there's a certain sub account that they're not interested in. Maybe it's a personal account of client, things like that. You have the options to stop fetching those once Hubdoc maps them out by just switching over to here from fetch to stop fetch. You can see we've done this here for that Capital One MasterCard sub connection. And once you do that, you can go into your folders, delete those documents, and then on an ongoing basis, those documents won't be fetched for you. So really easy to do in that respect. If we want to update any of our profile information, we can do that. If we want to change our first name, company name, the email associated with that Hubdoc account, so this would include the login, date format, all of these are available to you. You can change your password as well. And as we mentioned here, we have that option to customize our intake email address as we see fit. Scrolling down, we can see we have the option to turn off data extraction, another option available to you if you want that document to immediately be archived. You don't want to have to wait for that OCR technology to be used. You can turn that off. We can see here we also have our connection with ScanSnap, my apologies, if you want to integrate your ScanSnap scanner into your Hubdoc file. And then some of the options in terms of inviting users to have full access of your Hubdoc account, which your clients might want to do if they decide to pay for their accounts. So that's a little bit of the functionality in terms of our downstream integrations and our accounts tab. I'll pass it over to my colleague to say a little bit more and wrap things up. Thank you.
Hi folks, Paige again. Looks like we have no questions here. So I'd like to thank you all so much for coming out today and watching our webinar. Hope it was super informative for you. A couple more things. If you ever do encounter an issue that you're experiencing with your Hubdoc or some of your automated connections, or you just have a general question, we're always here to and happy to help. A couple ways you can get a hold of us would be by submitting a ticket through the web app, and you can do that by clicking at the top right under your company name here and click Submit a Ticket. Alternatively, you can go to the Hubdoc home screen and see our phone number here and give us a call. It is 1-800-577-2842, and our hours of operation for the phone lines is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're always there to answer the phone call, so that's a great way to get in contact and discuss some issues. Or you can also get in touch with our support email by sending email to support@hubdoc.com. So that's all for now. Thanks again and have a great week. Happy Hubdocking.